It's Mr. Bonezz, the Teddy Marquee remix, and I just want to try a couple things. I was playing it, and a lot of sound systems sounds absolutely amazing, but then in some cars, like a Honda Civic, it kind of feels like the sub is so intense, and the Honda Civic sub doesn't reach that low, and I'm thinking of some fixes. I'm thinking of some philosophy also. So let's just kind of play around with that of how to possibly fix that in mastering. Um, I think where I'm gonna go to make that possible is I'm gonna roll over to. I'm gonna kind of take everything that actually has to do. Let me see what's up with all of this. This is on basically the whole time. Okay. Let's see what's up with the output. Boom. So I want to master more so just the let's see. I'm gonna throw these ones into here. See what's up with that. And then my whole master chain, or at least a good chunk of my master chain, I want to be living in the Fletcher Munson curve. Um, I'm gonna bump it to like audible range. I'm gonna go 8K. Oops. Will it go that high? It will. 8. Fine, I'll do 814. That ain't nothing to me. All right. Boom. I want that all the mids to be running through this master chain. And I might take the 120 down a little bit. Uh, but for right now, let's just hear it. Let's take it to 100. Let's pump it down to like 70. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna create two chains. Hey, two chains. And I'm gonna copy this into this mug. And instead of soloing that, we're gonna be this is gonna be the high. And then yo, what happened, bro? That ain't even close to what I wanted to do. Messing around. Alright, here we go. And then I want to do a low band. Right? So pump that back in here. And then we're just going to solo the low. So the low, the high. Right? Now, what I'm also going to do real quick is I'm going to take the last bounce of this song that I liked and enjoyed. I'm going to throw it into this area. And this is to check the work, right? So I'm going to grab this same, I'm using the multi-band dynamics as a specific frequency splitter. That's all that's happening. So we're going to put that onto here. So we can actually hear the levels of those lows and those highs on the mastered version of the song. So let's go ahead and go to the drop. Here we go. And then the mids. Cool. Now let's listen to ours. Mids only. Sound way better. Now that compared to, I think that's going to be fine right now for the highs. Let's check out these lows. Yeah, I hear how thick that is. I think we're fine, honestly. I think it's just those mids that had to be mastered better. If I felt that the lows were too low, I might bump them up, or I might bump up the highs. But I think we're just gonna kick it right here for a second. Let's take a listen to our new record. And then this is the old one. I definitely do feel like we lost a little bit of that high sizzle, so I am gonna pump that out higher. I'm not hating how that is turning out, to be honest. The other weird, wacky idea I kind of had was to do something like grab the PSPs. So let's see, let's go find it. PSP, vintage warmer. And I just want to see what happens if I juice up a little bit. Let's see. So what happens if I thicken the saturation like pretty hardcore around here, but I also take the output, right? And I drop the output. So let's go ahead and do that too. And then, so we're gonna like push it, give it more harmonics and stuff. And then what we'll also do is just turn it off literally right there. So. With LSD. I think my Bluetooth, my Magic Mouse it's at 30%. What's the problem, bro? Just like acting up. Come on. What's the problem? Come on. Okay, got more control over my mouse again, so that's a win, I guess. How am I supposed to get this up? There we go. All right, I just want to turn it down more. With LSD.
pledge allegiance to the tab of the United State of Psychedelia and to the rituals for which we gather. One tribe under Shiva in mania, with LSD and DMT for all. We gather. One tribe under Shiva in mania, with LSD and DMT for all. One tribe under Shiva in mania, with LSD.
All I really wanted this to happen on is the drop, so we got some fixing to do, so let's get to it. So what I'm gonna want to do at this point is I'm gonna want to automate for these drops, basically. Let's see. Drop one, boom, I'm going to turn it on. That's fine, we'll do that one that way, so that one comes on. We want this one to come on as well. And then last of all, on this multiband, we're going to turn on the multiband. So that way this is only happening for the drop. And over here, we actually have something else. We have a different mix going on. For which we gather. One tribe under for which we gather. One tribe for which we gather. One tribe under Shiva in one tribe with LSD and LSD and state of psychedelia into the rituals for which we gather. One tribe under Shiva in mania with LSD and DMT for all. Of the United States. So yeah, them mids is a little gnar. Let's see. Of the United State of psychedelia into the rituals for which we gather. Into the rituals for which we gather. what I'm remembering now, actually, that everything started sounding pretty good in that Civic. And I love how I'm just doing this all for a Civic, but whatever. A lot of people have Civics, I guess.
I pledge allegiance to the tab of the United States of Psych. I pledge allegiance to the tab of the United States of Psych.
Let's give this a bounce, and then next we're just gonna do one with a little less going back to the Fletcher Munchen curve. We're gonna go a little less into the 2K range. We're gonna control that a little bit more, but right now we're just gonna let it ride. Pledge of Allegiance, there we go. Put that in there. This will be 18, 19. I'm tired, y'all. Oh, man. Got like a lot of projects going on. I gotta be up and at it tomorrow. I got a session at 11 to finish something before we hit the label on Wednesday. I got some other stuff to do as well. I think at 5 maybe tomorrow. Try to get some sleep after this. Kanye West says that his mentor, Rick Rubin, is not a producer but a reducer. The Rubin principle, take great taste, is not about adding more, it's about knowing what to remove. Kanye says that his mentor is not a producer but a reducer. It's not the technical skill but the judgment that makes it valuable. Yeah, I mean, duh. But at the same time, still got to make that thick arrangement sometimes, you know? Not all the times, but sometimes. All right, now this time I just want to kind of roll through this and cool out that range that I was talking about. What I got right here. I mean, it's already kind of happening, I'm not gonna lie, but Pro Q. I feel like the Pro Q sometimes just, I don't know why, it just does exactly what I need in this case.
Allegiance to the tab of the United State of Psychedelia and to the rituals for which we gather. One tribe under Shiva in mania with LSD and
Alright, let's hit that again. This time with maybe a little bit more of that just raw power.
allegiance to the tab of the United State of Psychedelia and to the rituals for which we gather. One tribe under Shiva in mania with LSD and DMT for all. DMT, DMT for all. DMT for all. DMT for DMT for all.
Alright, so now this one's just gonna have that 2K dipped out at about like almost 3 dB. So I could tell it's probably gonna be the one that's more easy to listen to, and it still has way more energy than the last drop bounce for the future bass stuff that I was going for. I mean, straight up, I think a lot of this has to do with the problem that future bass is so stacked up with like so much energy that um, it doesn't translate to that loudness perception, as well as that like low sub knocky kind of like ending that I got in here, which is a whole nother genre of tech house and stuff, and like trance and I don't know, you night bass. I don't know. You guys go crazy on what you want to call it, but yeah, it's that minimal four to the floor versus that stacked up ravey synth like euphoric, massive stacked, saw stacked progressive house, or in this case half timed rocktronic or future bass or melodic bass. Man, I don't even know, bro. I'm tired. Like I said, we'll see if this makes the end cut. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary to be like mastering anything below like a certain threshold and above a certain threshold of the frequency spectrum anymore. It's just like overblowing the system. So I chose on this record 70, which I'm pretty sure that most systems will go down to 70. It's where it starts getting iffy around 50 and below, I think. Maybe 60 and below, but I don't know. I used my ears a little bit. I thought 70 was still powerful. Um, so yeah, I think we're gonna give this one a go, and we'll check it on the Skull Candies. We'll check it on the all the other headphones. I'll check it on the monitors. I'll check it on the cars and see what's good. But we got to get to those like terrible systems, and it still needs to work. And where it was just wasn't working. You could hear it. Like, let's go back one more time to it. Like, let's go to the drop that is um what I thought was like gonna work, and then this is where we are now. And it's like I mean, here's the big test too. I'm gonna go and play some Spotify stuff. Like, I mean, I guess to go into this world, I'm probably trying mostly to be like Roy Knox, like type record. Let's just try Waterfall as a great one. Right. So now let's go back to our track, and let's go to what it was. Yeah, it just feels more open. Like this feels clamped, the old one. I mean, I probably don't even have to if I didn't want to. Let me hit save one more time. And let me do a save as. I did something where I tried to basically do this with the kick drum only. I was like, I just want my kick drum to poke out better, so I doubled my kick. Um, let's find it. So my snares are rocking. Yeah, I doubled my kick right here, and I like kind of high passed it because I wanted more of that knock. So I wonder if I don't need to do that now. So this is with it. This is without it now. Back to the old one. Yeah, I want to do a bounce of this one too because I liked how that kick sounded without having to do that. Now I'm doing it to the whole entire song. Basically, it's like parallel mastering in a sense. At least it's a better way to parallel master, because my old philosophy I've tried before was to like take my master and be like, oh, this is my like full spectrum master, and then like basically duplicate that down into another track some way, routing or just pasting it down, and then just like creating more of a telephone effect of like that, like certain range to certain range for the iPhones and the crappy systems, and then just kind of like creep that back in and try to level both of them out. But then you get like full on phasey issues, I think. I think this is much better. Just master the frequencies that are really mattering at this point. And when I say master, I mean blow them up. Like obviously, like there's different styles of mastering. Like not necessarily going to be doing this for pop and rock. Maybe some pop, but not really the rock. I guess I could. I don't know. I don't know. It's just also my way of just. I like that energy. I want that energy. I don't want some weak shit. Nobody wants that, bruh. Nobody wants that, man. Anyways, I think this is going to be a good solution for this song, and I will have to double check it. But hopefully, we could start promoting this song pretty soon. Still have a slight desire to change the first drop, but I feel like I can do that when I have like the full on shit dialed in like this, like that's gonna be better. Let's just one more time check out what's happening here. So we go into the old one. New one. Yeah, very interested to see how this is gonna react. I think I'm overblowing it still a little bit, and it's like I should have compensated for all of this maybe in the mix or whatever, but I mean, with this many layers and stuff going on, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to always make that decision until I've heard the rest of it.